It had been recording for a couple seconds. It was on Esther's camera. She always thinks I'm going to start it.
Good evening.
Why do you always think I have to start it?
That's your job.
Is this my job?
Yes.
Well, we can't even hear you.
Start things. Oh, you're about to hear me munch on this Chipotle.
Yeah, she's really macking on the food over there.
So, I was about to say something and then I took a bite.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, there's no steak in that bite, so it was quick.
Here we go.
You know, there's a food. Rice and beans. Don't really need to chew. It's all bite size. You can just
really?
swallow.
Just swallow? Wow.
Okay, anyways. Chipotle.
True. That is Chipotle.
Sweet, wonderful husband picked it up for me on his way home from work.
True. I did.
The thing about Chipotle, I love Chipotle. I get the mild salsa, which has onion in it, as you do. And I can taste that on my breath for like hours and hours after eating it. Don't vibe with that. So I was like, let me try the mild, not the mild. Let me try the mid salsa, the green one, because that one's like a liquid kind of blended one. Probably still has onions in it, but it's not.
It still has onions.
It's not in its raw like chunk form, which is the worst thing. So I was like, let me try that, and then I was like, let me do steak because bored of chicken. And then I was like, ooh, I'm switching a lot of stuff up. Let me put queso in it to make sure it tastes good still, in case the salsa's gross.
Okay.
So.
Well, did you like it?
Here we have it. I do wish there was tomatoes in it still.
Yeah.
Little diced tomatoes.
The best part about their salsa is that onion. So. And also their corn has the onion in it too.
Exactly. And I love the corn, and I don't get the corn because that also has onion. It's a hard life. I'm not going to take a bite of that because I'm going to keep talking. Okay. I also got chips and guac. Oh, their chips are so dang good. The flaky salt.
The flaky salt is good for sure.
I was so tempted to get a Mexican Coke because it, you order and then it's like, oh, do you want to add? And I was like, I absolutely do. What does it call them? A Mexican Coke.
It calls it that on the app? Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that's legitimately what they call it.
I mean, guess so. So anyways, I avoided that. I got sparkling water.
Well, you can have as many calories. I mean, the sugar's still. I mean, sugar's not.
But I was already getting an extra
great for you
with the chips and guac. So, anyways, it's not as good as my usual.
Oh wow!
But I just, I wish I could get the tomatoes without the.
How much was it all?
Oniano.
Guac, queso. Those are both extra, and chips. So what was the total cost?
Didn't check. Probably 20 something.
Wow.
Probably 20. I don't know.
Wow.
A bowl is usually like
expensive.
I usually get out of there for like 11, 12 with a chicken bowl with no extra expense things, no queso and thing. Steak is more, queso's more.
Oh, wow.
Chips.
And guac. Wow.
Yes. So 20 something. 21 or 20. I don't know. I don't remember.
Wow. But the steak is probably more calories, which is good since you're trying to gain weight.
Yeah, but I'm gonna.
You should have the chicken too, so there's nothing about it that you like better?
No. I wish I had the other kind of steak. They have two kinds of steak. The other one was 13 right off the bat instead of the 10 base that the chicken is. This one was like 11 or something. 11.50, 12.
Those clicking sounds. It's
sorry, I like
clipping.
It.
The microphone.
Anyways, the steak's good. It's just I got a piece of fat stuck in my teeth and that upset me. So now I'm like very cautiously chewing, which is annoying. I don't like to think about my food. I just like to eat it at lightning speed.
I like to think about my food.
Which rolls us into my fitness update, which is that I gained 4 pounds.
Wow. Which is actually a lot for you, though.
I'm kind of scared to weigh again, though, because you go like up and down.
Yeah, you fluctuate.
So I don't want to weigh again. It's going to probably be
I have officially
down.
lost. I'm closing in on 40, but I think it was 36 point something.
Wow.
Was my total lost in 2 months.
I'll eat to that.
Yeah, I won't. Um.
Oh, I got back up.
So yeah,
I'm gonna be too loud.
the weight loss is going very good. Fitness is going very good. Business projects are going very good. We haven't gymmed yet today. Esther's had a few rest days. A couple, one. How many have you had?
One.
Uh-uh.
Yes, because that Saturday when you had your rest day, because I had a rest day, and because you need a rest day.
You went by yourself.
You're like, yeah.
You've only missed once?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. I even missed once.
Yeah, so that's been cool.
So pretty
I have
consistent the whole
another
time then.
another thing. Another thing.
Another thing.
Since you've put the heat to come on in the morning,
Oh.
I've been waking up at like 6:30 because the heat's on.
I'll let you know really quick as Esther's starting this. She's always had
Go ahead.
control of the app and the heat. So she could have done that at any time. Just so people don't think that I am the one that only gets to control the
I
heat.
don't necessarily want it in the morning because I'm on the days that I'm now home. I did put it on, I think, but
manually, you didn't have it come on at a certain time. To
correct.
Help you wake up.
I'll never do that. I don't understand that. I will not spend the 3 seconds to
Yeah,
see how to do that.
Okay. You understand it's like
So-
it's like 2 seconds to do.
Correct. But I do like to not do that because if I am home and I'm like, oh, I'm cold, and I put the heat on, I want it to go back to its schedule and not do that again.
The heat in the morning is good. Wakes you up. It's good to have a little bit of light come on. It's good to
The light.
the hot
Hard
shower
path.
at night
Hate the
actually
light.
cools you down. You take the hot shower, then you get out of the hot shower, and then your body temperature drops.
And then your hair is wet. You wouldn't know about these things.
your body temperature drops, and then you fall asleep better because your brain is supposed to go down 10 degrees to get a good sleep.
Oh, big brain.
So that's why going to sleep cold is good. But then to wake up, it's difficult to wake up when it's cold. You want to stay asleep. You want to stay in the cover. So if you get the heat to come on that time you're trying to wake up, if you get that house, they're doing a lot of new stuff now where you got those bed sheets that will have water through them and they'll cool down, they'll heat up, so you don't have to do the whole house. Gosh, this house will be at like 60 degrees or something, 58. It'll be right around 60, and I'll put it up to maybe 64. Gosh, it gets warm fast.
Mhm.
That thing turns on for
It
about
really does.
10 minutes and it's set.
Uh-huh.
Same with the cooling. It just really cools down quick. The AC and the heat work really well. So if you're struggling getting up at a certain time, try to have some of those things. Get it to raise by a few degrees the time you're trying to wake up. And you want it to gradually get there, right? So you'd want it to be at the temperature. You'd want to the time you want to wake up, you want it to be those few degrees warmer. So if you have basically even old ones let you set timers, but it is nice from the app on your phone because then you can change it and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, have it, if you're struggling getting up at a certain time, have it warm up even earlier. See, because then the body's going to get into that cycle of starting to wake up. So that light, if you can have a light come on at that time, I don't have that set up. Esther's shaking her head over there. It's not supposed to be like a blasting light. That's the thing. We don't have it set up. It's supposed to be like a very, very warm light and slowly, very, very gradually turn on.
I love that, but I hate that.
Well, you just hate getting up at a good time.
No, because I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Only 2 days have I experienced this, so not.
Oh my gosh, your
Not
phone
much.
has those things. You just had a bunch of balloons go up all over because you did a peace sign, I think.
Anyways.
Oh my gosh, it did it again.
Okay, let me put my hands down.
Wait, what? What in the world is going on?
You shut it off in like 2 seconds last time.
No, I didn't. I guess
No, you said here it is and you shut it off.
I thought so.
So do that again.
Now I'm annoyed because it's stopping our whole video. It says it's on mine, but it's not on mine. It's on yours.
You should probably figure that out.
Anyway, you gotta continue.
Okay, I was just waiting to see if you're gonna.
Well, I have no idea.
Anyways.
Apple iOS added this thing where it makes your hand signs do stuff on the screen, and you don't have to opt in. It's automatically on, and then you have to figure out how to shut it off. It's the worst thing ever. And it's like It's like you have to go into each app. People absolutely hate it. And it's so difficult to figure out how to get rid of it.
Why are they doing that then?
Oh, well, I mean, you can't do everything perfect. People try things out.
But that just right off the bat sounds like a stupid
Oh, yeah.
thing to
People
do.
were just absolutely blown away. They're like, what in the world? It has all these weird, and they're not animated well. And Apple's pretty well known for having some of the better animations. Like they have the better looking emojis. They have the, but for whatever reason, they made this and people were just beside themselves. And now I see why I hadn't dealt with it until some of this. Anyway.
Okay. I don't vibe with that steak. That steak's bad. There are other steaks, but good. For 2 days now, the heat has woken me up at like 6:30, 6:40.
Yet
And
you just go back to sleep.
I don't get up. But
Wow, that's
I
kinda
wake
sad.
up, I look at the time, I'm like, praise God, I don't have to get up yet.
Oh.
I go back to sleep. Then
That's
when
kinda
my
sad.
then when my alarm goes off,
That's kinda
I'm like,
sad, though.
then when my alarm goes off, I'm like, let's go, baby. Jump out of bed, get ready, go to work, and I feel like I'm not tired.
Well, the fact of the matter is
Today, this morning at work, I was like, too much energy.
The fact of the matter is that if you are abruptly woken up, you're still tired. But if you can enter that cycle, you going back to sleep should be ruining the cycle. That
Yes, I think it's just a mental thing.
When are you going back to sleep? You said like 6:40ish,
Mm.
and then when does your alarm go off?
7:30.
Oh, it's a whole nother hour later. Then that could be fine. But why not just get up? Like there's tons of things. Like you don't go to
Because,
the gym with me
like
in the morning. I go in the
said,
morning and at night.
it's a mental thing. I see the time. I get excited that I don't have to get up. I go to sleep. So then when I do have to get up, I'm like, cool.
Why are
go.
you excited to not get up?
The way I'm trying to say something good and say that I've had energy and feel good. And he's like, but why are you wrong?
No, what? No, I didn't say anything about wrong. I like that you
My
felt,
feet are cold.
I like that you I like that you felt better at your job or whatever, but it's like if you woke up at that time and you're saying you kind of more naturally woke up, why not just get up? Give me some pros and some cons and some reasons for going to sleep at a semi-regular time, getting up at
Wanted to. Because I want to. And I can. And I will.
But you're also...
And I don't have anything that I need to do in that time.
I mean, I would obviously disagree with that, but I'm saying like...
No, I mean, I have things to do, but I've got other times to do them. I go to work, I come back, I do chores, I go to the gym.
Oh, I'm not saying I feel like you are neglecting something. I think that's a difference than you saying I don't have anything I need to do, and then, which would be that's just an obvious neglect, and then there's things you could be doing. Are there not? I'm sure there's something you could do. But what I'm saying is the mental thing, like you're saying it really isn't having to do with the cycles and stuff. The fact of the matter is that you naturally woke up a long enough time before
It's just nice to wake up because I could have like put an alarm if it was like the amount of time and whatever. Could have put an alarm for that time. If I have an alarm that's like early, I wake up feeling like I hate the world.
Right, it's annoying. That's what I'm saying. So you're saying that you've figured out a way.
It's the natural wake up that's exciting to me.
Not. You accidentally, like you just started waking up because the heat being on, you didn't go in there and program it. I programmed it, and then you just sort of were kind of waking up, and then you went back to sleep and woke up an hour later, more happy that hour later because you woke up naturally an hour before that time. That's just intriguing.
Because usually I have 2 alarms set. Sorry. 7 and 7:30. When that 7 one goes off, I'm like, cool, don't have to get up. 7:30 comes way too quick, and a lot of times I'm like too much back into sleep that I'm like, this is my first alarm, and then I look at it and it's 7:30, and I'm like, death to all of it.
But that doesn't make sense because that was only 30 minutes. You said you get back too much into sleep. The other one was a whole hour.
No, I know, because I'm
Right.
deep sleep.
No, exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. So it's the natural waking up and the amount of time. If you had an alarm at 6:30, you also wouldn't like it. You probably also wouldn't like that.
Nobody likes to wake up to
Well,
alarms.
I have alarms to go off early, and she always gets upset.
I don't hear no alarms.
You don't hear
Have
one
you been having alarms in the morning?
this morning. Yesterday.
Don't hear them.
Good. Today I thought you did hear them. But no, I would still say you didn't answer any question about the pros and the cons of why not just waking up if you're naturally waking up at that time. Why not get up?
Maybe I will a couple more times.
Huh.
But right now,
No, but you haven't given me
now, I don't see a need or a want
No pros and
or
cons.
a benefit
Mm.
to doing that.
Pros and cons would be trying to separate yourself from
I guess
it.
the benefit, I might do a devotional before I go to
Right,
work.
exactly. I'm saying a lot of times you want to think of like your
My tennis ball rolled away.
A lot of times you're wanting to think about her tennis ball is something that she rolls her foot on to like try to like her feet always hurt. They don't? Then why
I have a bad ankle, which is why I rolled my foot.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the
that's
pain
what
is
I mean.
under my foot.
Yeah.
And all over my leg.
when I talk about pros and cons, you have to completely remove yourself and act like somebody else.
I don't have to do nothing.
Well, it's not about have to do anything. It's like the pros and the cons things. It's like, okay, this isn't about me. What are the pros and the cons? You're not someone that you could be someone that likes waking up at 3 a.m. for all we know. It's pros and cons. So it's like, what are the pros and the cons of waking up at 6:30 naturally?
Time to slowly get ready.
Okay, more time.
Look more presentable if I felt like it, which I don't.
Well, not look presentable, but feel presentable, I would say, is much more important.
Yeah, I feel
rushing off, throwing everything on and rush. No, but you said you feel like you've had to do that in the past, where you're 10, 15 minutes late, barely thrown together.
If I get up when my alarm goes off, bam, cool, chilling.
Right.
Because my routine is to accommodate the amount of time that I have.
So you gave us some pros of just getting up at that time if you wake up naturally at that time. So what are the cons of waking up at that time?
What?
So what are the cons? You gave us pros. You gave us some pros of waking up naturally at 6:30, and then you didn't give us any cons.
I haven't had any.
So then why aren't you currently doing it?
No. I haven't had any cons of the waking up. I'm going back to sleep though. So
no.
If I get up at that time, maybe I will.
Pros and cons is not you. Pros and cons is so what are...
That's impossible.
No, you just said the pros of something that none of them pertain to you. It was you feel more prepared.
I made pros that were I have time to get ready for work, relax.
See how that would be true
Other
for
people
everybody.
Might not have that.
Let's see how that would be true for everybody.
How do you know?
Oh, well, 6:30.
Somebody could work at 1.
Okay, you're right. You're right, actually.
Graveyard shift.
Waking up an hour before you naturally... Waking up an hour before you normally would, and an hour and 15 minutes before your job actually is. So anyway, what are the cons of waking up at that time?
I don't know.
Well, it's not... I don't know. It's that...
Sleepier, have to go to bed earlier, more tired.
Okay, so you feel like you would have to go to sleep earlier for it to wake up an hour.
Possibly.
What do you think, though?
Probably.
Okay, so you'd have to wake up. So you'd have to go to sleep earlier. And then you said you'd feel more tired. Have you been feeling more tired, spending more...
I took a nap when I got home.
Today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
Well, because, I mean, and this... Anyway, the pros and the cons are just very important to take a step back and look at something and try to completely remove yourself from the situation and really see what it is. Because clearly there are no cons
but
of waking
obviously
up that hour earlier.
Pros and cons to most situations are up for debate. A pro of mine could be a con of yours.
No, but that's why it's so great to just when you're trying to figure out if it truly is good, bad, and different, is to just completely remove yourself from the situation and really find out, are you projecting
There's just no way to completely remove yourself. You have opinions and thoughts and biases.
Correct. But you can generalize it to then hopefully help push you in the right direction. You'll find out that maybe it's something that you don't like, but there isn't actually any cons to it. Mm. You might find out that, oh, wait, if I naturally woke up at that time, why didn't I just get out of bed and do a new thing? Something else, something different, add something, take something away. It's just the next question, of course, yes, was a fair question of yours, which is then how many hours did you sleep? So did you lose an hour of sleep? Did you sleep much less than 7 or 8? Like, is that hour taking you down to 6 or to 5? Then it's like, okay, now you're getting
That really doesn't matter to me because I don't care the amount of hours.
Okay,
I just
so then
care.
Why don't you get up at 6:30?
I care the amount of hours that makes me function well and feel good.
Well, what is that?
So I am not going to say like, oh, I got to have 7 hours. If
Okay, but what is that for
if
you
that's
then?
not the good amount for me, I don't
Well,
care
what
what
is
the
that
amount
for you
is.
then?
I don't know, 8 probably.
Would you like to know exactly what it is? Is that
Probably not, because then if I like go to bed late, I'll be like, oh no, I can only get 7 hours. I'm gonna be so sluggish, and then
so
I'll
too
just
much
be sluggish
information
because
actually makes you feel worse sometimes rather than better?
it can. I'm
Okay, explain that.
I'm a intellectual. No, I am very. I can't think of a word to describe it, but I will be very easily swayed by things from my own mind. So if I looked at the clock and saw, oh, I'm only going to get 7 hours tonight, I could very easily ruin my next morning by
100%.
thinking, oh, I'm not going to have enough sleep. I'm going to be tired.
But does
And
that
then I'd wake
not-
up and be tired because I'm thinking that.
Sure, no, 100%. But then I think that actually proves the power of the thoughts, and that you could easily then say, oh, wait, I'm just using the one that you said, which is like, you think probably it's 8. You could probably say, hey, I'm gonna be restful and ready to go tomorrow, whether or not I get 5. Do you think that usually your overthinking is negative? The type of overthinking that you just described just now, which is like overanalyzing something. Do you think that generally turns
What
out
I
to be
just said
negative for you?
now, it would be negative because
No.
I'm letting
Does
my
that
thoughts
type of
dictate
overthinking- Does that type of overthinking generally turn out to be negative for you?
Couldn't say. Probably.
Probably.
Just because I just listed one that is negative and I can't think of other things right now, so my brain is only capable
If you
of
couldn't
so
tell,
much.
we haven't
And
done the
so
video
much
in a couple
is
days. So Esther,
this much.
we haven't done in a
Hey,
couple days.
my brain is always this way, okay? It takes time. I need to process things
Wait, I didn't say
slowly. I
anything
need to
negative
mull them
about you.
over. George can work them over verbally in the moment in like 2 seconds.
Well, that's why I asked.
And I cannot. And I don't like to do it verbally because I don't want to
That's fine.
communicate something that I don't actually mean.
Sure. That's why I
being
ask it
fumbling
different
through it.
ways and pause and give you time to. But but we still need some sort of an answer to.
Didn't I give one?
To some.
Roll the tapes.
We still need some sort of a answer to. Do you feel like? You said probably. But I feel like if you thought about it for a second, you could probably figure out yay or nay to. Do you feel like the overthinking is usually something that's negative for you, or can you turn it into something that's positive?
I think everything can be worked into something positive.
No, is that something that you do?
Oh boy, that's not what you said. You said, can you? Which I can, and I think most things,
well, right,
no
so
matter
now
how
I'm-
negative,
right,
can
so-
be
right.
worked.
No, I think you answered the question
into
correctly. So
something
now I'm going to
good.
the next stage. Do you do that? You now said that you probably can. Do you do that?
Sometimes.
She's being so vague.
I'm being
I think
truthful.
I think there's sure, but you're also being vague for the sake of safety to some degree, where it's like, well, if I don't answer either way,
No, I just can't think of like other applications for that thought process right now, so I don't want to answer incorrectly, even though it's irrelevant.
right. I want you to, because gut reactions and gut responses are very important to questions like that. When you take, like, there's some obviously ridiculous like personality test type ones, but there are some that are actually kind of good and can actually help you interact with people better. Not that you need to stake your entire life on it. You actually shouldn't do that. But what I'm trying to say is that if you sit there and really mull over the questions, it ends up kind of ruining it a little bit. You got to kind of get through them. So with a question like that, some thought must come into your head. I mean, I'm not saying that you couldn't just say sometimes. That could have been the thing that popped into your mind. But I'm
not a quick gut person.
But you
Because
think of something. Something comes to your mind, though.
To me, instantly makes me think negative.
What does?
To have a quick response to something and a quick.
What makes that makes you think negative of other people if they respond quickly?
No.
Okay.
I think generally responding quickly versus pausing and thinking, it's negative to respond quickly.
2 + 2.
Bruh.
Well, but now that you pause, people think you're dumb.
No, I didn't know you were asking me to answer that.
Well, because you took so long.
I really did not think you were asking me
It's
to
fine.
like.
But what I'm
Give an
saying is
answer
I
to
don't think
that.
I just don't think that comment that you made has a lot of validity because it's like
How not?
well
Somebody says something to
well I
you,
just
gut reaction, quick. They said something rude. Shut up. Bad.
no that's in a
Think
totally
about
different
it.
thing.
Maybe they had a bad day.
This was about
Go about
this
it
was about
differently.
questions. This was not
Okay,
reaction.
questions. How do you feel about some huge big topic?
I said
Bad.
I said a gut like response like
Yes, I think gut responses are bad.
interesting.
Oh, I mean,
That's
not always.
That's odd. Well, I don't even
Generally.
I don't even know what.
Because take yourself out of it.
Okay, sure.
Think of something in 2 seconds and stake your whatever on that, or have something presented to you. Think about it, analyze it, answer.
What if it's
how would that not be the better option? To think about something before you react.
Well, now we have
answer.
to know what sort of situation you're talking about. You're in the middle of an interview, and this is supposed to be a subject that you know a lot about, and they ask you a question, and then you sit there and you're like, let me think about that for a little while.
That's totally fine.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't fine. What are they thinking? Does this guy not know?
Obviously,
Does
if
this
it's like
person not know? Well, I'm trying to get you to define
if it's
your
a
situation.
question that has only one answer, 2 + 2, 4, can't be anything else, then
That took her
whatever.
about 3 minutes. She was thinking about this whole time. She was buying time. No, I'm just kidding.
Then
You kind of liked math.
Then whatever.
You kind of liked math.
Do it quickly. If it's, how do you feel about the environment? You can't just have a quick, instant response. And if it is, oh, I don't care. Bad response.
I mean, I feel like
it's the most important thing in the world. Quick response.
I feel like I feel like you could
Just
have a quick reaction to that. What if you're someone that's well learned in the subject?
Obviously, then it would be different. If you ask me how old I am, gonna have a quick answer. If you ask me what my favorite color is, quick answer. There are things that I know and have known and can be quick. I'm talking about like questions that you're asking me. What are your thoughts on? What do you think about? Is this better or this better? I need to think about it.
But it's your I'm asking your opinion. Like, what's better in your opinion?
Yes, correct. Still need to think. Need to.
So you don't.
And you're asking me like, oh, what do you? When have you had these thoughts before?
Sure.
I don't have a quick answer to that. I have to think about.
No, I'm not upset or anything that you had a. I wouldn't even call it slow. A not gut reaction. I just like this conversation now. You explaining why you didn't and giving a reason for why you do or do not. But then you said, no, people having gut reactions are bad. So then I was like, okay.
And then I said, not always, because obviously I always.
Of course, sure.
I just used a.
That's fine.
I try to avoid like always, never type statements because that's usually not true.
I don't think so. You're usually always quiet.
Not always. When my friends come over, yelling, screaming.
You're pretty much always quiet. But
yeah, but there's exceptions.
I did put the pretty much.
See, if you said you're always quiet, that'd be incorrect.
True. Yeah. But anyway, so I would think if someone, my first response goes to someone who, we're not talking about, you then took it to like asking some either like long answered question. Like I was asking, what do you think between A and B? When someone doesn't have a fast response on that, I just think they're an unopinionated person and not passionate about said subject. Or
wonderful.
What? that offended you?
No, just I think that's a bad thing to think.
Well, you said people's gut reactions were bad, but I didn't say that was bad. But I didn't say that was bad for you to think that. But it's bad for me.
But you had a whole negative. Oh, they're lazy. They're not lazy. What word did you use?
I don't know. Oh, just now about people that have. Oh, I would say unopinionated.
Unopinionated.
Yeah. Or not passionate about said subject. But why is that negative? What if it's a subject you don't care about, like waking up on time?
Oh my gosh, this dude's so difficult.
No. Are we not here to have a conversation?
No.
Oh. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you and I always think very different. And that's the intriguing part. I think that's one of the most intriguing parts of this thing. I would think a slow response, unless it's particularly on, like, you went to like asking these like existential crisis questions. It's like, okay, wait a second, that we weren't. I asked you.
That's what your questions
I
sound like to me, buddy.
right, and that's what's so intriguing to me. I asked you about waking up when you naturally wake up, and you were like, "Yo, this guy's asking me like my whole backstory." It's like I didn't feel like that question was like that. So then I feel like, oh, she either doesn't like her own answer that came up into her mind, doesn't want to share it, or, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying people in general that would give me a slow response on something like that, or they haven't done their homework. They don't of their own life on a question like, why not get up at that time? Or I went to sleep at 2 a.m. Okay. Quick response. They knew why they didn't. Because, this, that, the other thing. It's like,
dude, I literally answered the question.
I never said you didn't. You think I'm coming after you. I'm not at all. I'm talking about the idea of how your and my philosophy is usually quite different. The gut reaction you did have was not liking my reaction, which was, oh, I think people with gut reactions is a good thing. And you were like, what? And I said, I think people with slow reactions, and you made a face. You were like, well, you had a gut reaction to that comment.
Here's the thing. Here's the trouble with these conversations.
Sure. That was very loud.
Sorry. Here's the thing. When we have conversations like this, it's almost always
love it.
You're like, remove yourself. Just think about these two things. But it's usually a character trait of yours and mine, and they're being compared. Well, so no, I can't remove myself. I'm having a conversation with my husband, who is one way and I'm another, and we're debating which is better. And
no,
not better. No. You're debating whatever about.
No, I'm actually not debating. I want to hear your opinion on it.
Oh my gosh, we're discussing about them.
Correct.
I cannot remove myself.
I want to hear your opinion.
I try, but it's very difficult
because I'm interested in it.
Gut reaction, quick answer, people, to me. Not thinking about it.
Right.
Or think they're just have the right answer for things. So they're like, boom, done.
Right.
Got it.
And so
those negative to me.
Right. So isn't that interesting that the thing that you find in someone to be negative, I would find that to be a positive trait.
Yes. And then you vice versa.
Right.
Which is why this makes this so difficult. Because
no, not difficult. It makes it fun and intriguing.
Yes. But also
because
tedious conversation because
yeah. Is that not what is that not what we're doing?
Yeah.
That was the whole point. I mean, because we think about these things so different, it's fun to have two people that are married that do basically everything together, that clearly like each other and do everything together. She had a good gut reaction to me saying we like each other, so that's good. I was
laughing because you're wrong.
Oh yeah. And so to have our gut reactions be so opposite is just very intriguing. That's very intriguing. They're not a little bit opposite. They are exactly opposite. You would find a gut reaction and a quick response to be a negative trait, and I would find it to be positive. And you would find a more slow, methodical, long response. Now, we are talking about a specific thing. You made it sound like in any situation.
No, I'm talking about in this type of setting.
Well, but this setting was a really simple question. Why not get up earlier? And you were like, I'm going to have to think about that for a couple of days. I'll get back to you in 1 to 2 business days. That's what I found interesting. This wasn't a big question about like.
No, you're asking me pros and cons if I woke up at that time. I don't know what the pros are because I didn't wake up at that time.
But pros and cons in general.
I could give some that I think, which I did.
No, I know.
I don't have time to get ready, be able to do devotional, whatever. But
right.
I haven't done that.
So then my follow-up question was right. So then my follow-up question was, and then we went down this rabbit hole, which I love and I have no issue with. But then my follow-up question was, then why aren't you doing it now? And then you didn't.
Doing what now?
Why aren't you getting up earlier?
The pros? Well,
yeah, because you had a lot of.
Did you disregard the cons?
Well, the con, you did say one, which was.
I think you're a pros and cons type of guy, but you are always.
Always?
I don't like to say that. You usually are like, the pros, baby. Start thinking about those. You like think about cons, write down the cons, and then you're like, but those pros, they're looking pretty good. And I write down pros and cons, and I'm like, ooh, look at those cons.
No, sure, 100%. But would that not then right away correlate to that you are more someone that is glass half empty and I'm someone that's glass half full?
Yes, I think we know that.
Right. Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. So then we go to the next step, which then my question to you would be, if you had more pros about waking up at an earlier time, why aren't you currently doing it?
Did I have more pros?
Yes, you did actually. It was about 4. There was 4 pros that you said, and there was 2 cons. in that conversation. You could have had more.
I don't like it.
Right, but see, that's a bad one. Now, if anyone comes up with
I don't like it, and I also don't have a need. So to me, I'm like, why? And I'm also focusing on other things right now.
Oh.
And I am a one thing at a time type of person. And I don't want to fumble my gym and eating life. It would probably benefit my eating life because maybe I'd be up earlier and eat more.
Correct, actually.
But I would rather not risk being like, oh, I got up freaking early. Now I did work. Now I'm tired and I'm not going to want to go to the gym.
Now this,
I haven't done the gym enough to feel comfortable with doing something that might compromise.
Now this I really like. Took us 45 minutes, but this one I really like. So now you're saying
George
feel
looking at me before he married me.
What?
I said George looking at me before he married me. This one I really like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say pros and cons.
Dang, the truth came out.
But what was
good thing he focuses on the pros.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So what's cool about that one is then you did say, okay, look, what could happen to somebody is if they try to fix every aspect of their life to some degree, which you're feeling like you're focusing on multiple things that you wanted to fix, that you feel like if you add another one that you would miss it. Why?
And back in the past, I was that type of person, that all or nothing. So I'd be like, you know what I'm going to do? Change my whole life in a day. And I'd be like, I'm going to get up early, going to work out, going to eat, going to do this, going to do that. Write a plan. And then I do it for like 2 days and be like, this is exhausting. Whoops.
So you stopped.
So I know of myself that it's not the play for me to be like, let's fix everything right now, because I'm going to get overwhelmed, tired, exhausted.
Could you push through that though?
Anybody can do anything if they want to.
So even though all those things are better and you wrote it all down and you were like, this is it, you didn't actually want to do it. True or not?
I mean, yeah. No, I don't know.
Well, you just said
the things that I want.
You just said anyone.
I'm thinking in the past now. I can't jump around because my mind is
that's fine.
Too slow.
No, I wouldn't say you're slow.
They were good things, but I did not enjoy running such a
tight ship.
Yeah.
So your enjoyment, not being able to enjoy it, is what stopped you from doing it.
Well, you need to enjoy it enough to be able to keep doing it.
Well, so was
and
the
I
answer to
did
my
not.
question.
So it was a flop.
So
it would have been more beneficial to say, you know what, I'm just going to do one thing and to have been able to keep that going.
So was the answer to my question yes?
What question?
I said, so you stopped it because you didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay. But
or just like something came up.
I'm trying
know?
to get
when
down.
I'm trying to
get down to core issues for people to viewing through us and things that we have dealt with, gone through this, that, the other thing, to then be able to, because you have to get down to the core thing so that other people can hear it, understand, and go through it. Not that other people are dumb. They could probably get down to the core issue themselves, but that's the fun part about the conversation, is kind of tearing away those layers and getting down to the initial thing. So it was too many things at once. And because it was too many things at once, it took the enjoyment out of it. Therefore, you couldn't do it. Because you can do a lot of things at once if you enjoy all those things. What's the most stuff you've done at one time and enjoyed it?
That's a crazy question.
What's the most stuff you've done at one time and just continued enjoying it? It just was fun the whole time, but a lot was going on.
Well, back a while. I don't even know when the heck it was, but we were like, it was toward the start of going to the church we're currently at. So we were doing like young adult group, church, the midweek worship night. Then we were doing hangouts. Then we were doing work stuff. And it felt like we didn't have a free second. And I was like, wow, this is cool.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a time where a lot of things were going on, but you continued to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we're still doing that now, but somehow I feel like we have more free time.
I was going to say, can you try to describe how you could what was it that made you enjoy it? It was new.
It was new, and it was all
Okay.
things that I was interested in. Church stuff, hanging out with people. I mean, work is hit or miss if I'm interested or not. But
Well, right. Well,
and I
work.
can also be interested one day and not the next. Not like my work, but like working on project stuff, our
Okay.
work stuff.
Yeah.
Some days
Yeah, I'm
I'm
just
like,
trying to
this is
figure
great,
out.
and then the next
Someone
day
like
I'm like,
yourself,
no.
you are not easily excitable. You are not. What? Was that? Do you find that as negative?
I kind of. It sounds not great.
Well, are you easily excitable? Here's something
I
brand
am
new.
easily excitable, but it just depends what you're talking about. Around like
Okay.
serious stuff,
Probably what? Not easily excitable.
probably not easily excitable.
Okay,
I'd
well,
be like, oh, get up early tomorrow, let's go. Probably not gonna be excited.
Well, right. I'm not
Hey,
saying.
work on some.
But now ask
project.
yourself: is it special to be easily excited that your birthday's tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't talking.
No, it's not. But I am easily excited
Yeah,
about that.
that is easily excitable.
Everybody's excited. Oh no, I know a lot of people. I mean, not a lot, but
Love, what
I
I'm
know some
saying is
people that-
extra things, fun things. Everyone wants to go to the store and shop. You're not easily excitable about, using your own words, something that's serious, which is the only thing I'm talking about.
But sometimes I am. Been excited about going to the gym. Does that count as a serious thing?
No, of
Yes, I
course it does, but that's what I'm asking you. You're not. How long did it take you to get to the gym?
A long time.
Right. How long?
And then once I actually got there, the first day was bad.
Right, and then
I mean, not really,
on
but-
some of our other things that we've done that are serious yet fun, like painting and selling paintings. That was difficult. That was very difficult for you at the start. Very difficult. Took a lot of time. And what I'm saying is that once you've started the gym, you've really liked it. When we were doing the paintings, we really liked it. So what is this starting of something? What is this not being as
Oh, I
excitable?
hate starting things.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm someone that really enjoys starting new things. That's my most enjoyment. What I'm difficult at, I mean, I'm waiting for Esther to flip this on me at some point, but I guess I'll just do it to myself. I'm bad at just
As if
continuing.
bro has given
I'm
me an
difficult.
opportunity to do that.
Huh?
As if bro has given me an opportunity to do that.
Oh, anytime, please. I don't like to really follow. I do finish things. I do follow through, but I like to hand it off to other people. I don't want to be the person to fully see something through unless it's just something I want to do. Now,
Then do you finish things?
thankfully-
Do you follow through?
well,
If you hand them off?
well, if I need ABC done and it gets done, doesn't matter who did it. Depending on what it is. I mean, clearly now I've kind of taken a business.
But that can
bent on
be
this. No one can take over for me at the gym,
correct.
and I lost almost
But
40
that's not
pounds in
the
2
stuff
months.
that you're like work type money making project things. Those are things you try and hand off.
But that's business. I'm supposed to do that.
I mean, kind of, but also sometimes the handoffs, people fumble it up, and then you're like, all right, next thing.
Oh, 100%. That's what I said it was a negative trait of mine. That's what I said.
But if you were to just hold on to it, you'd do far less because you can't
Right.
physically.
And I also
run a
wouldn't,
bunch
and I
of
also just wouldn't really enjoy it. But I do feel blessed that the things that I find enjoyable.
Bro started enunciating.
Blessed. I do feel blessed that the things that I enjoy are productive things. So that's just, it's
In your
very,
opinion, somebody might look at your life and be like, you know what? You waste too much time on things that will pass. You need to spend more time doing life stuff.
Okay, explain. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Not my opinion, just saying.
Oh, you don't think that?
Because you view your stuff as like, oh, this is positive stuff. It's helping people. It's
No,
great.
I said it's productive. I don't
Productive.
think that. I
yeah.
don't think that
matter
you
of
could,
opinion. Somebody could say that's not productive. You only have one life, and you're wasting it on
I don't know.
doing things like that when you could be spending time with your family,
Words
doing
do
whatever.
have meaning. I don't know if you could use that word and be able to convince me or convince anybody that what I'm doing isn't productive. Productive isn't. I didn't say it's the best thing in the world. I didn't say it's the only thing I should be doing.
Fair enough.
But I
somebody
do-
else,
but
else
again,
might think
I just want to-
productive is related to money. So you could be making more money if you
Sure.
dumped all this
I
and
just wanted to
focused
clarify that
on
real
one
quick.
thing.
I'm more than happy for you to tell me something that you're seeing negative about it. So continue. But then you said it wasn't your opinion. I would like to hear your opinion on it, though. You said that's not my opinion, but someone might think that.
Well, I mean, I've thought that at times too.
Oh, okay, well, explain then.
I like what
Elaborate.
you do, and I like that you like it, and it's fun and exciting and different. So
Right.
cool. But I've also thought before, oh, you could hand off or just stop these things, focus on one thing, or just focus on some 9-to-5 normal job
Okay.
and be able to make more money.
So it's about money. I should do something that makes more money.
No. Not.
But that is
Not
how
when it
you
comes
went-
down to it, because I
Oh.
don't ask you to do that. No, do I? And I just said I liked what you do.
No, I know.
But I'm saying, yes, the thought has crossed my mind. You know what? You could be making more money and
Sure. So on that line of reasoning, not you as a person, but on that line of reasoning, you ended with you could be doing something else to make more money. So one reason I could do something else is to
and
make
because
more
it would be more predictable. You have
Okay.
stuff pop up all the time, and it's like, oh, you want to do this on the weekend? Cool, yeah. And then you're like, oh, you know what? I have 2 meetings, but
money. Right.
we're gonna try and do something.
Now you did also say though that you do like what I do. Why do you like what I do?
I like that it's interesting. I like that it's different. I like that you are excited about it.
Right,
Most
'cause if I
most
was ex-
people dislike their jobs and come
Right.
home and complain about it.
Yeah, I don't even
myself
hardly call it like a job.
included. Not always. But anyways, so it's cool to have somebody that likes what they do and is always,
So do you like me more
excited
because I
about-
like what I'm doing?
yeah.
Well, I felt like I asked like the most obvious like.
But I
layup.
mean, if
She thinks I'm like trying to get some like deep. I'm just
no,
asking.
I'm just doing what I do.
Oh, okay.
You got a
okay,
problem
right,
with
right, right, right. No, sometimes yes.
Mm.
That sounds like a me answer. Give me a yes or no.
Say it
Get
again.
that sometimes out of there.
Okay, ask it again.
You undecisive
Go ahead.
person.
Go ahead, ask it again.
I forgot already.
I remember. See if you can.
Okay,
think of
go
it.
ahead.
No, well, you said it.
Oh, wait. I forget. All I can think of is, do you like me better?
Well, that's
But
what
that
I
was
said.
you asking.
Right, and then you said.
I don't
And I was just gonna say no, and just like
know. Don't remember what the question is. So
it's fine. So yeah, I just I'm trying to get to core ideas of what you
but
think.
the thing is, not everybody, most people would not thrive that way. Most people would be
The way
stressed, feel overworked, feel like drained. I would feel that way. I feel like most people would feel that
Well,
way.
everybody's
So
different.
it's just up to people, because
Sure,
some
everybody's
people are
different.
like, fantastic, I have this job that freaking is the same thing every day.
right.
Go to the same office, drink the same coffee.
Right. If I
look
was
at the
doing what
same
you were
people.
doing, well, I couldn't, and I wouldn't,
Yeah,
and I would be
you'd be-
extremely depressed. and
Yeah,
sad.
you'd be depressed,
Yeah.
and you just have to know what.
Yeah, I don't think. I
What
think
you
sometimes
want.
you think I'm like out to like pit one against the other and whatever. I just
Let's be fair. A lot of times,
no. That's
you
just
think of 2 things, or something comes up, and you're like, "What do you think's better? What do you think's more positive? What do you think?"
well. I'm
And you just
usually
like
am
to-
trying to get someone else's thought on the subject,
Yes, but I just
and I'm
don't
trying to
always
find.
love the constant like, let's.
Compare and see what's better.
Sure. But I'm
Because
but
people are
usually
just-
what I'm trying to get to is not. I'm trying to find out what you like. I don't like that often. I will ask someone a question like that, and the one that they don't like is the thing that they are currently doing.
Mm.
That's why I asked you the pros and cons of getting up early. You gave me more cons than pros, yet you refused to get up earlier.
What? You said that backwards.
You gave more
You said.
pros than cons, yet you refused to get up earlier.
Okay, you just fixed
Oh,
it.
oh, I
That's
said-
the first
okay,
time you said it.
I thought that's what I said. Yeah, I hear what you're saying now. Like that.
Mm.
Now I don't want to stop talking about that. How in the world can you sleep at night knowing that you've consciously made a decision to take a worse action that you yourself said? And I'm not trying to.
But I
pinpoint
gave you
on-
an answer.
Yeah.
I do not have a need, and I don't want to
You don't
tampering
feel
with
like
things
it.
that I do
Oh
have
no
a
no
need
no! I
and a
liked
want
that one.
for.
I was going back a few. Remember, I told you I liked that
Back a while.
explanation. I
Yeah.
went back a little bit. But do you understand what I'm saying and how that does happen a lot? I mean, you've been part of the conversations. I'll ask people, "Oh, so then you like what you're doing?"
Yeah.
so then-
But it's also easy to be like. It's also to, what? I'm mental. I need to go. It's also easy to be like, yeah, this would be better. I'd like that more. And be like, yeah, I dislike what I'm doing now, because you've done it and you know the
But I
cons that come with it, and you don't know the cons that come with something else. So you can think, yeah, you know what would be way better if I started my own
stop messing with
business.
those things.
I can't. But then once you start a business, you're like, crud.
Well,
I have
this
to do
is
taxes
not
for this. I have to fill
Sure.
out paperwork. I have to know how to do this. This is not fun anymore.
This is not just
You just don't. People don't know the cons of things that
This
they
is not-
say are better.
This is not just a business bent. I'd rather be doing this. Why aren't you doing it?
They don't know. I thought I'd rather be staying at home all day doing
And then you
nothing.
didn't like it.
And then I did it, and I was like, this is boring.
Right. But you thought you would, and you tried it.
Mhm.
You said you wanted to go to the gym, didn't go for 3 months, and started going. Now you liked it. Even went multiple times by yourself, tried new things. Why'd you wait so long to try it?
Because I don't like trying new things, because I have stress and anxiety.
Okay, so there were things
And I
holding
like
you
to
back.
be a
So it's-
perfectionist, so if I don't know how to do something awesome right off the bat, I'm like, don't need to do that,
okay, so you just
which is a negative thing. And
right. So you just expressed out loud that you have this thing that you do on a regular basis that you don't like. Have you worked on trying not to do that thing?
What did I say? Did I say I didn't like getting up at the time I'm getting up? Because I do like getting up at that time.
Oh, I was talking about the thing that you just said about you said I had to go back to Esther's cam because no, you,
I'm so aggressive in these conversations.
just now you stated because I'm anxious and I don't like trying new things, and I said, so you just expressed something that you find negative in yourself. Have you worked on trying to not be that way? Have you actively
Every freaking day, baby.
Okay, so you feel like there's this thing about you that you are consistently working at. Has it gotten better?
Phenomenally.
I would agree.
That's
See, she
a
thinks I'm
wrong
like coming
word
after her. I'm
choice.
actually just trying. She doesn't like share a lot, so I'm trying to get her to. And I'm sure in the comments people will be like, "I'm just saying the same thing over and over," and that's fine. But I want her. I want to hear that. I've obviously heard it before. I've obviously heard it before, but I like to delve deeper into those ideas, not questioning you, but trying to hear from you about what those things are. So yes, I do. I think you've worked on that a ton, and but have you worked on the not wanting to start new things? The most recent start new thing took 3 to 4 months to try it. So have you worked on that?
But I did it.
The start. We're talking about the starting. Of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So is that something you've worked on?
I
Because you said
think
that was
so.
negative.
I think so, but maybe not as much as I could.
Oh.
My legs hurt.
Do you try new things on a regular basis? Would be the only way to get better at trying something new is to try lots of new things. So do you try a lot of new things on a regular basis?
No.
Okay. So do you wish that you did?
No, because I dislike it.
But you said it was
would
negative, so-
probably benefit me.
So you're more than happy.
You know what I thought about the other day, because
What?
somebody was like, "Oh, I wanted to go ice skating," and I was like, "I can't ice skate. I went ice skating, hurt my ankles, didn't know how, didn't want to fall." And then I was like, "You know what? Who cares? What if you did fall? Whoa, fun. Oops, maybe you have a bruised butt for a while." So I was like, I should just go ice skating again and be miserable, but just have done it and be bad at something and still do it. What did I say that I'm? Oh, when I was little, that's one thing. Board games, my favorite board games, I lost at almost every time, but I just enjoyed playing them, so I didn't care.
You continue to like them after losing regularly. How little were you though?
Teenager.
Oh, that's not that. I mean,
I mean,
I thought
the
you were
other
gonna
one,
say
the other one
9.
younger, because one of them was Monopoly, which I don't think I played as a
I
teenager
thought you were gonna say
very much.
9 or 10.
Probably for Monopoly around
No,
that
but
age.
you were saying that
Yeah, but even
attitude
older,
continued
like-
into the teens.
The Lord of the Rings Risk. My favorite game.
We have that game.
Yep. And I lost almost every time because I was high defense and low attack. And still every time I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be so aggressive this game. I'm going to go out.
And you got scared.
And then
or
I was
what?
like, let me protect what I've got.
That's hecka funny. Interesting. So this is just
And that is a
so this is just you always.
that's a good metaphor for my life.
Right. So this
High
is just
defense,
you
low attack.
always. Except for not metaphor of you physically, because your defense you'd get destroyed.
Huh.
Like if like a fight or like muscle like.
I don't know.
It's
I
a
fight you pretty good.
that is actually very funny. The other night, Esther like pinned me down, bro, and I was like she kind of got a good hold on me. She had like a hand, like an arm, like around my neck, and then like she was like holding one of my legs, and I was like,
No, I was holding both your arms, but I was holding one of your arms with my legs and then one of your arms with my arms. And you couldn't get your arms out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you eventually got out by using your legs.
Right.
to
I mean, I
pry
wasn't trying to
my
kill
legs
you.
away.
Yeah, but it was funny because she was legitimately. It was she had me there.
All right, let's have some closing thoughts so we can get to the gym, baby.
Took her a while to get excited, but she is excited now.
But I just what the
What?
water droplet? Get that out of here. Where'd that come from? Anyways, what was I saying?
Closing statements. I don't know. I've talked the whole time. So
I was going to talk about the gym, which
Okay,
is
good. Give me
kind
a
of
closing
irrelevant
statement.
to the conversation at this point. But I need to start new things inside of the gym.
Oh, do different
I'm bored.
exercises?
I'm bored of. I mean, I still like to go and I still like to do them, and I'm like upping the weight, which keeps it exciting. But
Right.
there's still like other things, and I'm like, oh, I really need to branch out and like go do other things.
Well, you've saved a lot of videos of things that would specifically be
Yes,
good for
and
you.
I did
A lot of those you can also do at home.
one of them. Oh no, I did some of the home stuff with
Right.
my
A
own
lot of
weights.
those you can do at home.
I did quite a few of those.
Some of those
but,
ones you were saving specifically.
But the in-gym ones that I saved, I only did one of. Here's the problem.
We went at a very busy
What
time
excites-
last night. Tonight's
yes.
going to be better.
And what excites me in the gym is stuff that I would be pretty bad at right now because I'm not very strong. And it's like nerve-wracking stuff, free weight stuff,
You want to do free weight stuff?
squatting stuff, using the bench stuff. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to go over there.
Squatting.
I don't want to. I don't want to go over
Why
there.
are you going a different
I don't want to
times?
go over there because that's where all the hardcore people are, and they're scary and they're large, and they're gonna make fun of me for
No,
my
they're
bad
not.
form.
You know
They
they're
will.
not right.
They will up here.
They
They might not
really.
verbally tell me, but they're gonna be looking at me and be like,
They might think at some point
Look
like,
at
oh,
that
but generally it ends up
2-inch
coming out.
girl
Generally it
trying
ends
to
up
do
coming
this.
out as like, oh, I'm glad that person's trying it.
I don't have that high of faith in people.
Gym people are some very nice people. You realize that, right? Like that's just like.
Couldn't tell you. Don't know any.
I mean, not always, of course. I mean,
But anyways, that's stuff I want to do. But I don't know if I'll get up to that point. Also, the one time I did use the bench for like the
oh yeah,
what are those called?
hip thrusts.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Some
It was
version
one
of
of the benches on like that four
Yeah, you're technically not
corner
supposed to use
thing.
that
What
for
should
that, but
it was empty, so I
it
just
was-
did it.
Yeah, and I was right there.
And I did it because the other benches move.
Yeah, they move. People can.
So
move
if
them.
that slipped out, I'd die.
Oh, it won't
I
slip.
wouldn't die.
Don't worry.
It hurt
it's
my
not
butt.
gonna slip out.
Are you sure?
100%.
But they're also like right in front of the mirrors and right in front of that big
Yes.
rack of weights.
Yes.
So again,
It's more intimidating than you thinking it's actually gonna fall. But I mean, I
And it's
agree with
extra
you.
intimidating to me. One,
I
I
agree with you that
don't.
it can be
One, because I don't like doing things I don't know, and I feel like,
Oh, I have bad form. Somebody will love me.
but also just because I'm so small, I feel like people would be like, or they'd be like, she can only do freaking 10 pounds. Lame. I
Liv, you
just
need to-
always think people are thinking
You need
about
to
me,
It's kind of prideful.
but I know that they're not.
Hmm.
But then I am also like, well, I'm sitting here thinking about them, so maybe they are thinking about me.
Esther's just like the rudest, most aggressive person in her mind.
What? No, I'm not thinking bad things
High
about them.
attack,
I'm
no defense
thinking.
up here.
I'm thinking about them thinking about me. So I'm thinking about them.
Oh, I thought you
So
were
are they
saying.
thinking about? They're probably thinking about themselves too.
Oh.
To be honest with you,
This is a
everybody's
roller
just thinking about
coaster.
themselves.
This is a good.
Some
ending
people in
thing.
there who are like me, who are not what their
So you-
current
wait, let me be
want
clear, let me
is,
be
are
clear.
probably
You were
thinking,
saying
oh,
that
people
you're
are.
busy thinking about them thinking about you. You're not looking at them going, they're doing that bad form.
Correct.
Okay. You're
I'm
busy
thinking about
them.
Them thinking about me. They're probably thinking the same. If they're confident and they're at the physique that they want, they're thinking, everybody's looking at me because I'm awesome.
Maybe you
And if
need
they're
to
not
worry.
and they're like me and they
you
don't
need to
have
not
what they
worry
want,
so
then they're
much about the-
thinking,
I don't
people
like
probably
the
think
I
I'm
don't
blah,
like
blah, blah.
that quick. I don't like that gut reaction. I don't like that quick response of
huh?
Let me finish. I don't like the quick response of don't worry about what anybody else is thinking. I don't even think that's a good thing to say actually.
Well,
in a lot of circumstances.
when you're talking to somebody with
But so let me be clear.
social anxiety,
Right.
that's
But so
usually
let
a
me be clear
beneficial
about what
thing to think.
Esther is saying here about like at the gym. Yeah, zone in, do your thing. Don't worry if they think you're doing something weird. I've been trying this new thing I'm really bad at, long length partials, which is only doing half of the rep because they say that's the most important, but you have to figure out how to get the muscle that you're working out at its longest, most stretched form. And I was having a very hard time figuring out how to do that with triceps. And I have this very odd way that I stand now to do it. And it's very awkward, but I'm still trying it. And I could feel the difference. You also have to do some stuff that feels like it's hitting the muscles for you, because every muscle's slightly different. The exact thing that you watch online isn't going to work. It was something that I watched online, but I went through multiple. But anyway, I'm doing a thing. I'm working on trying to do just long length partials. They did a bunch of studies. There was a certain paper done by certain people, 4 out of 5 of the studies. Long length partials showed faster and higher
I don't even know what that
muscle
is.
growth. I just explained it. Only exercising half of the rep where the muscle is the most stretched. So like when I was doing kind of like the upper pec stuff, I started doing this thing where I would do a short length partial. What does this mean? When is this muscle the most contracted? Now.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's at its shortest. It's at its closest together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing this thing, and some people swear by this too, so I'm just trying stuff out. And I was doing this thing where I would try to hold it in this position as long as I could and then do small reps and count.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing. People do that.
Yeah,
but
that's what I do with my
But they've been seeing that that's the least effective.
Oh.
Short length partials. A long length partial for that exercise would be go as farthest stretched out as you can and come halfway in. Now go back out. That would be a long length partial. Why? This is at its most stretched and you only come halfway in. Curls, you only come halfway up.
I do that with my arms sometimes, but I
so anyway,
don't.
What I'm trying to tell
you,
you
the other
is
way
that
with the other stuff.
I have felt the exact same way. I've been trying out this new thing, and I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. Now, I will tell you this is how I think. So I've thought of someone, not rudely, I think nicely. It's a made up scenario. I've thought of someone nicely saying or asking, "What are you doing?" It's not that weird. I'm not doing anything super crazy, but it's like, "Oh, what's that?" And not someone asking me like trying to find out how I'm doing it, like not
just
like
someone like,
literally trying to be
like
like, "What?" Yeah, exactly. And I already have the response ready, waiting for someone to ask me. The response is going to be most likely the person asking me, because at the gym I'm not someone that's one of the more fit people, that I'd be like, "Oh, well, clearly you seem to know better," and then I would explain what I'm doing. And it's kind of that thing, this is a little bit extrapolating, but it's kind of that thing where draw attention to the awkward thing and then it's not awkward. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, what I'm doing is weird. I'm trying to figure out long length partials, bro. Do you know what those are? And then maybe he would know, maybe he'd explain, maybe he'd say, "Oh, I don't believe." You know what I'm saying? I already have some sort of response to deter. Do you think of what would happen if someone actually said, you're only worried about them thinking about you doing a weird movement? You don't think they're going to approach you? Have you thought of a scenario? Do you sit there and mull over things like a scenario of someone coming up and saying something?
I did think about that, and I would be like, "Let's go, baby, show me how to do it."
Oh, so your response would be like, good.
Yeah,
just
unless they came up and were like, "You're doing that wrong, dummy." And
so anyway, we'll go to the gym. Quite interesting.
If they wanted to show me how to do it.
Fun that we think of things so different yet get to similar answers, except for I guess waking up early. But because I went to the gym this morning and now we're gonna go together, and I've done that for the last few days, and I really like it. I've very much enjoyed it. So maybe she'll come with me in the morning one day and see if she likes it. She would hate it, but no one's there, which is very nice. So we are going to head to the gym.
That's what I want.
Esther's
empty.
Esther
gym.
is consistently.
Then
gaining,
I just be trying everything.
Esther's consistently gaining weight, and I'm consistently losing. So we have stuck with what we said we've talked about. We'll come on here with some more stuff later, and we'll see you guys next time.